Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gordon Frayne, and today we're back with another weekly market update for Bitcoin and the crypto space. It is Friday, September 6th, 2024, and it has been another choppy week in the markets. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below. Hit that subscribe button as well, and if you want to get notified about similar videos, smash that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's going to be linked down in the description below. Grab it while it's free. It is my gift to you, and let's get into the video. So, as we mentioned, it has been a choppy start to September, and in last week's end of week update, we gave you this chart and we showed you just how we could be entering a red September because 6 of the last 7 years has been a red month in terms of Bitcoin monthly returns in the month of September. And already we are down 8.24% for the month of September in the first 6 days of this month. However, the silver lining for all of this is that October and November on average are the two best performing months from Bitcoin monthly returns perspective. So if we can get through September, maybe with a little bit of a dip into the red with a negative month for Bitcoin returns, we could be looking to a healthy Q4 and a strong finish to the year if Bitcoin can replicate some of these seasonal average returns that we've seen in October, November, and December throughout the course of the past 10 years. So what does that look like? We're down 8.24%. That means we're currently sitting at about $53,500 for the price of Bitcoin. We're down a 5% amount in the past 24 hours alone. Ethereum is sitting at 2233, BNB at about 479, and Solana down at $125. If we jump over and look at the overall crypto market cap over the past 7 days, we can see that we've gone from a price or an overall market cap of about 2.08 trillion US dollars to $1.9 trillion, where we are currently sitting here on Friday afternoon, September 6th, 2024. So again, we've seen a steady decline throughout the course of the past 6 to 7 days, and we're currently sitting below the $2 trillion mark for overall crypto market cap. Next up, we've got the Bitcoin dominance. And again, we've brought this up every week for the past few months, and you can see just how strong of an uptrend we've had since the beginning of 2022 for Bitcoin dominance. However, you can also see that for the past 4 weeks, we've been trying to test this level of resistance. And this level of resistance goes all the way back to where we saw Bitcoin dominant break down below the 57% level all the way back in March of 2021. And this level actually acted as support for Bitcoin all the way back in August of 2020. So it acted as support. We saw Bitcoin dominance shoot up to 70% and above back at the end of 2020 before breaking down below this 57% level and going all the way down to about 40%. And then it's been on a very strong uptrend ever since. But as you can see, for the past 4 to 5 weeks, we've been testing this level of resistance, and we have not been able to break through it or close above it from the Bitcoin dominance the weekly chart here in terms of Bitcoin dominance. So could we be seeing dominance finally reaching its peak here for Bitcoin in this cycle? You can see that we've got a red candle here for this past week. Will we continue to see this drop even further as we move throughout the course of the rest few months, or will we have to wait a few more months for an altcoin season to really kick off? Again, we're going to be monitoring this every single week to check in on where Bitcoin dominance is holding and if we're truly going to break above this 58% level once again for Bitcoin dominance. But looking like we're testing this level and we're not breaking through just yet, it'll be interesting to see if we can break through or if we will continue to move back to the downside. Next up, we've got the top gainers and losers. This is the past 24 hours, but let's zoom out and look at the past 7 days. Again, much more tokens in the red than in the green, thanks to the overall market cap dropping over the past week and capital flowing out of the space. But Helium is still up about 18%, StarkNet up about 9%, Uniswap up about 3.4%, Monero up about 1.5%, and Sui actually up about 1% over the past 7 days as well. Some of the biggest losers of the week include Brett, which is down about 21%, Cosmos down about 18%, we've got Lido down about 15%, Kaspa down about 14%, we've also got Near Protocol down about 13%, Celestia down 13%, Pepe down 12%, Ondo down 12%, Ethereum down 12%. So the vast majority of the top 100 are well into the red for the past 7 days, with a few outliers like Helium, StarkNet, Uniswap, Bitcoin SV, and Monero in the green. So much more red than green, which leads us on to our altcoin season index. And once again, it is still more of a Bitcoin month than an altcoin month. We're not quite into altcoin season just yet. And again, if we scroll down here and look at the top 50 performers over the past 1 month time frame, we can see that Bitcoin itself is down about 4% over the past 1 month period. We've got a few outliers here in the top 50 that have had some very good returns, like HNT, like Sui up 33% over the past month. Fetch is up 28% after the alliance with Fetch and the other AI tokens. Aave is up about 21%, Monero is up 13%, Optimism up 10%, Injective up 8%, Uni up 6%, AVAX up 4%. So there is a good chunk of the top 50 that are in the green over a 1 month time period. But again, there is a lot of red on the chart here and a number of tokens that have been outperformed by Bitcoin as well, including many of the meme coins like WIF, like Doge, as you can see in the chart here, and then some of the worst performers over the past month, including Atom, Ripple, XLM. Solana is actually down 14% as well over the past month. We've got TON and DOT down 14% as well. HBAR and VET down about 10% each as well. And then we've got Matic, Pepe, Tau, and a handful of other tokens that are down about 7, 8, 9% over the past month. Also, again, it has not been a healthy week in terms of net flows for the Bitcoin ETF in the United States. We've seen pretty significant outflows over the course of the past 7 to 12 trading days. You can see here outflows 4 of the 5 days last week, followed by consistent outflows or net outflows from the ETF issuers in the first few days of this week. We're still waiting for some more data to come through for yesterday and today. But yes, it has been another negative week overall in terms of ETF flows. And it'll be very interesting to see, if we can get this starting to tick up again, if we can kind of see this or find this bottoming or level of support for Bitcoin in the low $50,000 level. So let's keep an eye on that over the coming days. But I think, we've seen consistent outflows during this period in June, as well as consistent outflows here in April. So, we're no stranger to outflows, and we've seen, pretty sharp inflows proceeding, consistent bouts of outflows for sustained periods of time. So in my opinion, I think, we might have another 1 or 2 weeks of outflows, and that will be followed by some swift inflows as those ETFs begin to buy the Bitcoin dip. Next up, we've got our real world assets dashboard. And again, we like to track everything to do with what's happening from an on-chain perspective regarding tokenization of assets on the blockchain. In this case, we're looking at tokenized treasuries. And again, we can see how BlackRock's Biddle Fund here in the yellow has grown from about 50 million in tokenized treasuries in March to all the way above $517 million worth of tokenized treasuries here in September 2024. So again, we know that real-world asset tokenization is a much more efficient way for handling assets like tokenized treasuries, bonds, debt instruments, and even physical real world assets like art and real estate. And we're seeing the world's largest asset managers continuing to tokenize these types of assets in a blockchain first world, with the Biddle Fund here on Ethereum and many of the other world leading asset managers creating their own tokenized funds for tokenized treasuries. It makes these instruments much more cost effective to swap, trade, lend, and borrow, and also makes it much more efficient for them to transact, sell, and buy these types of assets in a very fluid manner. So again, we're going to be seeing much more asset tokenization as we move through this bull cycle and towards the year 2030. And finally, just to round things out, once again, we are into September. We're closing out the first week of the month. We do have the FOMC meeting on September 18th, where we are expecting rate cuts to happen. Again, 73% chance that we are getting a 25 basis point rate cut, with an additional 27% of people believing, or 27% of analysts believing, we could get up to a 50 basis point cut for rate cuts. Again, I think this will be the next catalyst for driving a lot of the positive momentum that we hope to see in terms of Bitcoin average monthly returns as we turn into Q4 of this year. So I'll be keeping an eye on everything to do with rate cuts, what might be happening in terms of a single rate cut or a double rate cut for 50 basis points. But again, I think we need to weather the storm here for the month of September, which has traditionally been red 6 of the past 7 years. And then hopefully we will be into clearer skies for Bitcoin to begin to move back up towards that $73,000 all-time high level and begin to test that in Q4 of this year. So that is the week in Bitcoin and our weekly Bitcoin and crypto market update. Once again, we're moving back up towards that 54K level at $53,734 for Bitcoin here on September 6th, 2024. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to get notified about similar videos, smash the bell notification icon. And once again, don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's linked down in the description below. Grab it while it's free. It's my gift to you, and we'll catch you in the next one.